What will the future of live theater in Grand Rapids look like? That is a question being addressed in a 4-day conference known as the Winter Theater Forum.
Absolutely. With workshops, panel discussions, keynote speakers, and more, the forum looks to collaborate and celebrate theater in Grand Rapids. And we've got the founder of the event, Elizabeth Berry, with us in the studio to learn more. Hello, Elizabeth.
Hello, it's nice to be here.
Oh, we're so glad you were here. What inspired you to organize this type of an event?
So I've been living and working in Grand Rapids since about 2015. I'm a Grand Valley State University alumni, and when I relocated in 2016 and started getting involved in the performing arts, something that really struck me was just how exceptional this community is and just all of the talent that shows up for auditions and for performances on stage, just how vibrant this community is. And I started to wonder, based on all of the expansion of art and art prize and murals and things like that in this city, what the next decade could hold if we start to really intentionally invest in the performing arts opportunities in Grand Rapids.
I love that. So talk about what this event is like. Who is it for? What can people expect?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a little bit of something for everybody, ranging from people who are interested in the theater as a profession to people who are adore live theater and events, and people who are interested in being really intentional about supporting our local community. So this will be a mixture of workshops and panel discussions. Some of the workshops I'm really excited about range from creating accessible theater, not only for people who want to be professional on stage, but also thinking about adaptive theater and ways to make it so people with disabilities can thrive on stage or be in audiences with comfort and ease. We're also doing some live performances featuring some of the incredibly talented individuals in our town. So Thursday night is a celebration of live theater with 10-minute performances from local organizations ranging from Shakespeare to Gilbert and Sullivan to some new works from local playwrights. Something that I'm really excited about is our Friday performance, which is a Stephen Sondheim tribute concert. So the late great composer passed away last year, and this will be a celebration of his music, life, and legacy. So for people who like Sweeney Todd, Into the Woods, Company, and other of his titles should definitely come out for that. And then our grand finale event is a karaoke fundraiser for Dog Story Theater. For those familiar with Dog Story Theater, they were one of the smaller independent theater venues that closed during the pandemic. And about the same time that Winter Theater Forum was starting, they had found their new location and started to build momentum for getting that space off the ground. So Jay and I collaborated to talk about ways that we could support Dog Story getting off the ground and their construction efforts. So Saturday is a theater kid karaoke party. All of yes. So all of those ticket proceeds will go towards Dog Story Theater and their construction of that new venue. So hopefully we can get back to making some really cool independent art in 2024.
In my head, I'm already hearing "Let It Go, Let It Go." I'm already hearing Frozen in my head.
I sure hope so.
What I love about this, I'm a theater lover. Okay, big fan. My whole family. It seems though, looking at the next 10 years, looking at the future, when I go see shows now, it kind of feels like audiences are aging out. Okay, it feels like there needs to be a strong influx of youth getting interested. Is there a focus anywhere in this forum about that?
Absolutely. So something that I have noticed just going into the theater is that there are very few people who are my age or younger. There's a lot of older people and a lot of kids in theater, but like millennials who have families are really not being accounted for. So thinking about ways that we can engage audiences that are maybe a little less formal than going out for a night of theater. So one of the discussions that we're going to be having is with local theater organizers and how we can engage different audiences in different ways and make sure that as audiences start to age out, there's opportunities for people who have never been to the theater before, who have no preconceived notion of what it's like to see a show or don't know what to expect in terms of like audience etiquette. Like how can we engage the next generation of audiences so that they can have a real joy and love in the theater as well?
Because I mean, that generation that is going, they didn't have the internet.
Yeah.
Kids these days, our generation has the internet, and that has significantly altered that dynamic for live theater.
Absolutely.
And entertainment in general, right?
Sure.
Absolutely. So we want to get people there. I know there's plenty of people who this sounds amazing. What do they need to know if they want to attend? How do they do that?
Absolutely. So our website is WTFGR.com. That has all of our outline of tickets, events, and if you're interested in purchasing a full forum pass, that's available, as well as day passes and individual session passes for for concerts and workshops.
Wonderful. Well, there you go. The date's right there, December 27th through the 30th. It is at Wealthy Theater right in Grand Rapids. There you go, carpenberry.com, WTFGR, is that right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Winter
There you
Theater
go.
Forum.
Okay. I can never see
I
the
understand.
screen.
I
I'm trying to
understand.
read it off the screen, and I'm always like, I'm scrunching
We'll
my
have the
eyes.
link up for you.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth,
Yes,
for being
thank
here.
you
Good
so
luck with
much.
everything.
Thank you. Appreciate it.